Welcome to University Hospital's maternity care. We are based on two sites, at St Mary's Maternity Hospital in Poole and at Bournemouth Community Hub at the Royal Bournemouth Hospital. Women give birth to about 4,500 babies per year here, with 20 of those per month being at home. This is St Mary's in Poole, where women come for the hospital-based elements of their care. Most of the time families spend preparing for a baby is spent at home and going about their daily lives. The majority of appointments will be with midwives in the community or in the home setting, with only a few visits to hospital for scans and potentially for specialist clinic appointments.
Hi Helen, I'm Karen. I'll be doing your scan for you today. Do you want to come on through? I'll grab your notes. That's lovely. Anybody coming in with you for the scan today? That's great. Come and take a lie down on the bed too. Super. And baby moving all right? Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so you've got a screen at the end of the bed where you'll see the scan. Okay, so babe's head down. That's the top of baby's head, just there. Baby's body coming up on the left-hand side of your tummy there. You can see baby's heart beating nicely. So, babe's bottom up here. And arms and legs all over this side of your tummy. Lovely. So you can just see a little pair of feet kicking around just there. You can see some fluid in babe's tummy, so we know babe's drinking okay. You can see kidneys, they look fine. Babe's bladder, we're just going to have a measure around babe's waist, make sure baby's growing nicely. And we're going to measure one of babe's thigh bones. And I'm just going to check the amount of fluid around babe, make sure babe's got the right amount of fluid in there. Lovely. So I'll just pop all these measurements onto the computer for you, just see how babe's growing. Good, that all looks fine, and I'll pop babe's weight onto your green growth chart in your notes for you. All right, but right way round, nicely grown, normal amount of fluid, placenta's in a good position, clear of the way out, so that all looks fine, okay?
During your pregnancy, you'll have lots of conversations with your community midwife about where you might birth your baby, and she'll talk to you about the inclusion criteria for the Haven Birthing Suite. And should all of those criteria be met, this is where you'll come in labour. We have 5 birthing rooms here, 3 of which have pools, and that might be something you'd like to use for your comfort in early labour. We can also offer aromatherapy, massage, we can help your partner, support you. We have the Entonox, or gas and air as you might have heard it called. We can also give pethidine here. And should your labour pathway stray from strictly normal, your midwife can swiftly take you just across the corridor to the labour ward for any extra monitoring or input from our medical colleagues.
Hello, I'm Carly and I'm one of the labour ward sisters working on the labour ward, or the central delivery suite as we sometimes call it, at Poole Hospital. So this is one of our labour rooms on the delivery suite. We have 7 labour rooms, we have 2 HDU beds, and then we also have a bereavement suite. Ladies come to the delivery suite when they are in established labour. So sometimes this will happen spontaneously, and the mum and their birth partners will come in from home with contractions that have started spontaneously. Other mums will have been through the induction process and will then be moved on to that next stage where they need to come up to the delivery suite and have some extra monitoring. So although the mums that come and have their babies on delivery suite are here because they need extra monitoring for either themselves or the baby or both, often there is the opportunity to be able to go straight home a few hours after the baby's born, and if not, we will transfer mum and baby up to the postnatal ward or the transitional care unit. So all of the birthing rooms within our maternity unit have certain pieces of equipment that I'm going to talk you through. This is a gas and air, or Entonox, which is piped into every room and always readily available. We have specialist beds that mean we can move your position during the labour and the birth really quite easily. Lots of ladies will like to kneel up on the bed, lean over the back of the bed and give birth in all fours. Over here on the wall we have our resuscitaire, which we will always pull down and get ready for when your baby is born. This can help provide some heat for your baby and some oxygen and suction. And also our fantastic NICU team will sometimes need to come and give some assistance at the birth. This is where they will take over the care of your baby. Over here is the monitoring that we have for the babies, and this is perhaps the main piece of equipment that's unique to Delivery Suite. So if you have a baby that perhaps is on the small side or your blood pressure's high and we need to monitor your baby continuously through labour, we have fantastic telemetry transducers which don't require any leads. So this means that the baby can be monitored whilst you're able to get into many positions that are helpful for the birth. Myself and the rest of the team on Delivery Suite, alongside all the fantastic equipment we have here, will help to ensure that you have the best possible birth experience in our safe hands.
Hello, my name is Caroline and I'm one of the ward sisters on the postnatal and transitional care ward here at Poole Hospital at University Hospitals Dorset. On the postnatal and transitional care ward we have 24 inpatient beds. 16 of those are postnatal beds and 8 are transitional care beds. You may need to come to the postnatal ward after you've had your baby, perhaps if the baby requires some observations, maybe if you've had a caesarean section, or if you need any help or ongoing care or support with anything after you've had your baby. On the transitional care ward, we look after babies from 34 weeks and onwards, and also perhaps babies born at term that are low birth weight, or babies of mums that are perhaps diabetic. And we work closely with our colleagues on NICU to make sure that mums and babies are kept together where at all possible. It may be that you don't need to come to our postnatal and transitional care wards and you are discharged home from the hospital a few hours after you've had your baby. Then your care will be continued at home by our colleagues in the community.
Once you've had your baby at Poole Hospital and you feel fully recovered and ready to go home, the midwives will discharge you back into the community care. They will come and visit you the day after you've been discharged from hospital. That might be the midwife that's been looking after you while you've been pregnant, or it will be one of the midwives that's part of that team that will come and see you. If you feel at any point that you do need to get in contact with a midwife, there is a 24-hour phone number, so you can always call us. There's always somebody around to look after you. Then a couple of days later, we give you a phone call just to check in and see how everything's been going. And then when your baby is 5 days old, a maternity care assistant will come round to your house and see you. They will weigh the baby and they will also do a blood spot test on the baby. This is to test for some really rare metabolic and genetic conditions, which we like to screen for really early on with babies if you're happy for us to do that test. After this, you normally see us around 3 to 4 weeks after you've had the baby. This will be the point where we discharge you from maternity care. At this point, we give you a chance to reflect on the whole birth process and your experience. If this is too early for you to do that and you feel that you need a follow-up appointment after that, then that's absolutely fine. We can re-refer you back into maternity at a later date.